As a lot of you probably already know, I have not seen this movie yet. It is taking me so long to actually watch it. It came out like forever ago, but it hasn't come to my theater, and it wasn't something that I had enough interest to like drive to Albany to see. But yeah, I have been looking forward to seeing this film. I've heard good things, I've heard bad things, and I'm excited to talk today about Licorice Pizza. Licorice Pizza was released in 2021, and it was written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson. This is nominated for a bunch of awards for the Academy. I think it's Best Picture, I think it's Best Directing, I think maybe even Best Editing, perhaps? I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember the exact list of nominations, but it's quite a few. I think it has 3, maybe 4. But yeah, no spoilers, I guess, but the general idea is it is about this young man who is like an entrepreneur. Let's call him an entrepreneur. That's what he is. He's an entrepreneur. And he sees this girl at high school who is like 25, and he's like, yo, let's go on a date together. He has this insane charisma. And she's like, all right, bet. And then she does. And they kind of fall in this weird love thing where like they love each other, but they can't be together because of age, so they're trying not to fall in love with each other, which is only making them fall in love with each other more. And in the meantime, you know, we have Gary, who is played by Cooper Hoffman, who did a brilliant job here, by the way, kind of experience with other women. He's like, okay, well, if you're not going to, you know, date me or take me seriously, I'll find other people. That's kind of the main story. There's many other side plots. Like, there's this, which I'm excited to talk about, because I think they're definitely the worst parts of this film. First, there's the Bradley Cooper spinoff, which, let me tell you, was freaking great. We have Bradley Cooper, who plays John Peters, and it was the funniest moments of the film. He's just this insane, charismatic guy, and I'm like, whoa, like, Bradley Cooper's great. He really is. He's one of the best actors out there, and I was really excited to see him in this. He does show up later in the film, probably about halfway through, and he's there. He's got like 3 or 4 minutes of screen time, tops. And the problem with that is they set up this really awesome kind of side thing, which I will say does benefit the main story, but not enough to it didn't feel like it needed to happen at all, right? Like, I feel like if you watch this, you might be like, oh, that was a waste of time, this entire 20-minute segment. It wasn't, because it did build character for both Alana and for Gary, because it showed that Gary cares about family, and it showed that Alana is willing to help, you know, Gary get through pretty much anything. But I wanted a payoff for Bradley Cooper's character, because we have this huge Bradley Cooper thing where he, you know, he's like, I'm going to kill your family if you ruin my house. And so he's like, okay, bet. He ruins the house. And we have a couple tense situations where, like, he's in the car with him, and, like, it's crazy. But we never actually get to see what happens when he gets back to the house or anything like that. And I'm like, I would have loved to see that. Why wasn't that in the film? I don't know. But it definitely made me feel like that was a waste of time. It wasn't a complete waste of time, because it did further our characters, and that was really nice. But I felt like we could have seen a payoff for that, and it wouldn't have even taken much. Even if it was just Bradley Cooper just walking into the house and just going, I'm gonna kill those kids. Like, that'd be great. That's all I want. We didn't get any of that. There was no payoff for that character at all. The second spin-off is towards the end of the film, where Alana is kind of giving up on Gary. They don't really like each other at this moment. And she's like, I'm going to go, you know, help this politician out and find a guy my age. So she goes there, and there's this whole, like, you know, the politician's gay kind of thing, and that's cool. I liked that. But it did not matter to me at all. I don't even think it really furthered Alana's character a whole lot either. I think maybe it did a little, but, like, barely a lot. I feel like we could have cut maybe even half an hour of this film out, and it would have been shorter, more succinct, to the point, and we would have still gotten all of this across. And I feel like what happened was they were like, okay, I have this idea for a movie. Problem is, only an hour, 20 minutes. We gotta make it longer. So they threw Bradley Cooper in there, and they threw the entire subplot of the politicians, which I gotta say I was completely uninterested in the entire time. And that has a lot for me to do with, I don't really care for Alana a whole lot. She's really dumb. Like, there's so many situations she gets herself in that she shouldn't have. Like, even from the very start, when she's like, where Gary's like, you should come to dinner with me. There's no way she should have said yes. She's 25. She's 10 years older than this kid. I can see why she would be drawn to do so, because he has great charisma, but it's like, why'd you make that decision? And then we're going back and forth to like, I can't love you, but like, they don't explicitly say that, and they don't really explicitly show you either. It's more like, hey, listen, I know we kind of love each other, we're just not going to talk about it, which is kind of cool. But it did lack that kind of forward momentum for me. I will talk about some of the better parts now, which there are more better parts than bad parts, in my opinion. I should mention, yes, it is a little creepy in the beginning. It is a little weird that he is so young and she is so old. But it's only weird for like 10 minutes and you kind of get over it. Like, I've heard big conspiracy things where people are like, this movie should be like banned because it shows that. I don't care. I don't mind it at all. I really don't. I was like, oh, that's a little uncomfortable. But then I got rid of it. I was like, okay, cool. It is what it is. I mean, we got to learn about it somewhere, right? Like, we can't just ignore that it happens, because it does happen. But anyway, the good parts of this film are many. There are a lot of them. And I think that one of those main things has to do with Paul Thomas Anderson. I think the directing of this film is really, really, really great. I think the cinematography is beautiful, too. The editing, which I think it's nominated for Best Editing. It might win here. I think it might have to beat out Tick, Tick, Boom, which I think was also nominated for that. But the editing is really good here, really strong. I like it a lot. I think it's a very strong contender for the winner. The editing is really nice because it shows kind of flashbacks to some scenes, particularly towards the end. There's this running motif, and I really like this running motif. It makes it feel like a 90s movie. It's not a 90s movie. It was made in 2021, and it's in the 70s, but I don't care. It feels like a 90s movie. It feels like that kind of thing where, you know, all the teenagers are running, but then they also cut it around them running in other previous, more, you know, impactful moments. And I thought that was really nice. I thought that really was impactful by the end of the movie. I love it whenever Gary went on any of his entrepreneur business, like, side plots. This is great. We started off with waterbeds, then we went on to pinball machines. I loved it. Thought that was really fun. Every time he was on screen, I was engaged and excited. But pretty much any other character, I was like, can we just see Gary again? And that's kind of the issue, is when you make a character so good and so well done, and you put an actor there that knows what he's doing, it can make the other characters seem flooded. And I think that's what happened here with Alana, too, I think that Alana, what's her last name? I didn't care. Alana Haim is a really great actress. I think she's great. I had no problems with her as an actress. I didn't care about her character at all. I really didn't. I wanted them to get together, of course, because that's what the movie tells you to want. So I was rooting for them. But in reality, I did not care whether or not she got her happy ending. I was like, I really would like Gary to feel happy, which, is that wrong of me? Maybe that's wrong of me. I don't care, though. So that's just how I felt. I'm telling you how I feel. I'm giving you my honest thoughts on this film, because I went into this film thinking it was going to be pretty good, and that's kind of what I got. I got pretty good. I don't think it's Best Picture worthy. I don't. I think it's Best Picture nomination worthy. Yeah, I do. I'm going to be a little upset if this wins. There are other movies on that list that should win over this, for sure. Is this a bad movie? Not by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's really funny. It's romantic. It's a great drama. It mixes them all really well, which I really appreciated. And it's a good movie. It's just, I don't think it's the best movie of 2021, but kind of a long shot. But I'm going to go ahead and give Licorice Pizza a B+. Have you guys seen Licorice Pizza? Let me know in the comments down below what you guys thought about it. And be honest here, I mean, like, I gave it a B+. I think that's pretty fair. I know there are people who are diehard fans of this film who are like, it's A+ all the way. I'm not one of them. It's just how it is. But let me know what you guys thought. Like, are you one of those people that, like, really love this film? Because, like, I think it's good. I really do. I don't think it's A+ worthy. And then there are people who really hate this movie. I don't really hate it either. Like, I'm definitely in the middle of this kind of food chain of anger on the internet right now. There's so much anger for this film and so much love for this film. It's one of the most polarizing films of 2021 for sure. I mean, hell, just look at like Letterboxd in comparison to IMDb, in comparison to Rotten Tomatoes. I'm sure the scores are crazy in terms of how much they vary. But I like it a lot. I don't think I'm going to see it again. I might buy it on digital or on physical when it comes out if it's cheap enough, but we'll see how it goes. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I truly, truly appreciate it. Please consider subscribing if you're not already. It helps me out a whole lot. You guys don't even know. It helps keep the channel going. So if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing. It's a huge help. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.